So we finally did it. We finally hit the 10,000 subscriber mark on this YouTube channel. And honestly, I really have no words when I saw this number tick to 10,000. Having those 5 digits there actually means so much to me, considering I've been grinding on YouTube for the better part of now 5 years. And before I get into today's video, which is kind of in honor of hitting the 10,000 subscriber mark, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this journey, whether you subscribed at the beginning or whether you just found me a few days ago and were part of the last little bit before I got to 10,000 subscribers. Your support has meant the world to me. It has kept me going on this channel. Whether you've commented, whether you've engaged with me on social media, subscribed, liked my videos, sent them around. Thank you guys so much, each and every one of you. This has meant the world to me. This has pushed me so much more than I ever could have thought to step out of my comfort zone. So thank you guys so much for your support. I just wanted to take a second right off the bat to say that I appreciate each and every one of you and all your support equally. It really does mean the world to hit this milestone. And I'm so excited for the future of this channel and what's to come. It's funny, everyone I know on this platform talks about how difficult it is to hit certain milestones, whether it's 1,000 subscribers or your first 100 subscribers. But for me, I learned the most during this grind over the last couple of years where I've been stuck between the 5,000 to 10,000 mark. And I'm just finally happy to be here, part of the 10,000 subscriber club. So in honor of that, we are going to go over the 10 essential items I cannot live without as a sports filmmaker. And also, if you guys aren't familiar with me, my name is Juan Morales. I am a 27-year-old creative director and filmmaker based out of Toronto, Ontario, and I work full-time in the sports industry. And this channel is basically my space to help you guys figure out how to get into the sports creative industry on your side, but giving you guys tips, tricks, and advice from my 8+ years in this industry already. If I've learned anything over the last 8 years of working in the sports industry as a creative, is that you will need more than just camera gear in order to be successful. You're gonna need an assortment of tools, items, and also habits to develop in order to be able to keep your creative battery energized. So in this video, I'm not just gonna be talking about my cameras, I'm gonna be talking about 10 tools that I use on a daily basis to run my business, to create my content, but also to keep myself in the right physical and mental mindset to be able to work in this creative industry for as long as I have already. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. These are my 10 essentials that I can't live without as a full-time sports filmmaker and creative director. First off, my Sony a7S III. I think it goes without saying that I was gonna have a camera on this list, and it had to be the Sony a7S III. I've said this before, that this is the best investment I've ever made in my career. And this camera quite literally changed the whole trajectory of my creative career because of how much I've grown with it and how much I've learned from using it. This is my daily driver for video work, whether I'm shooting a sporting event, whether I'm shooting a documentary, a short film, or even YouTube or digital content like this for social media. And I have made a video recently you can check out if you want more details on why I love this camera. I will leave the link down below, me talking about why I've had this now for almost 4 or 5 years and why it's still my go-to camera. But yeah, the Sony a7S III is definitely something I cannot live without, and you will find me using this until either a new camera comes out that really takes over what this can do, or until this thing bricks in my hands, which I really hope it doesn't, because I love this camera so much and I truly don't know where I would be without this camera. Item number 2 is my MacBook Pro. This is a MacBook 16-inch M3 Max, and this thing is incredible. The most powerful laptop I've ever used so far as a video editor and creative. I got this about 2 years ago after having a 2019 MacBook Pro, and that one had an Intel chip, and that laptop was fine until I upgraded to my Sony a7S III, and then I had to proxy all of my footage in order to make it even remotely edible on that system. 2 years ago, I made the decision to invest in an M3 Max because I want a laptop that will last me a while. And I think that the M3 chip is so insanely powerful, especially it being the M3 Max. The specs on this laptop are probably a little overkill, but the fact that I can edit my footage without making proxies, the fact that this handles some of the toughest editing projects I've ever thrown at it without even breaking a sweat is incredible. The M3 Max has been a go-to staple in my everyday life, whether it's creating content, consuming content for day-to-day work, running my business. The M3 Max is my second essential item that I can't live without. It goes hand in hand with my camera as things that I quite literally could not function on a daily basis as a full-time creative in this industry without my M3 Max. The third item I'm going to talk about is this. This is the Whoop 5.0. This is the third item I can't live without. And the reason being is that this is a fitness wearable that I wear all the time on my wrists, as you saw before. And essentially, this just allows me to keep track of a lot of different things when it comes to my physical and also somewhat my mental health, when it comes to my sleep, my recovery, and also how much I'm pushing my body on a day-to-day basis. This essentially allows you to understand a little bit more about your sleep patterns, how your body recovers after a long day or an easy day, and also allows you to track how much strain you're putting on your body. And for me, as a content creator and a filmmaker, this is a very strenuous line of work. I've talked about it on the channel a little bit before. I think the best way that I've been able to improve my efficiency and creativity as a content creator, especially when you go into really heavy periods of long sustained work, is by keeping an eye on things like sleep. And I can't tell you how bad my sleep patterns must have been before this. I got this in June of last year, so it's almost been a full year of having the whoop. Let me tell you, I was probably averaging at best 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night before, and I'm very happy to say I think I've improved it to 6 to 7 hours of sleep, if not 8 most of the time if I can get away with it, using this tracker. And I use this and I check it in my everyday life just to keep an eye on how I'm physically doing and to justify why I might be feeling a weird way. There's journaling on this that allows you to understand a lot more about what you do that affects your recovery and your sleep. I'm not saying you need something like this to track your sleep, but this is what works for me. This is what fits within my lifestyle. And I definitely don't go a single day without checking this and making sure that I'm doing all right. And it also allows me to know when I may be not doing okay and when I should take a day off. Maybe I shouldn't shoot that video, or maybe I shouldn't say yes to the shoot because I've had a lot going on lately. I was actually going to shoot this video yesterday before I actually shot this, and I was not feeling 100%. And when I checked this, my recovery score reflected that. So it's also allowed me to make more conscious decisions in order to create better content when I'm actually feeling right to do so, and not just doing it because I need to do it and forcing myself otherwise. Number 4 is my notebook and pen. I carry this pretty much everywhere I can. If I have my backpack on me, I can guarantee you this is in there, and it gets used every single day for a bunch of different things, whether it's writing down ideas for videos or projects, for, planning out videos or projects like a YouTube video or a documentary, or even journaling on the go, or just throwing things in here that I need to remember later. I think we've all been there where you get this really great idea for a video and then you say to yourself, you know what, I'm too busy right now, I'll get to this later, and then later you forget what that video was all about. I've gotten into the habit that anytime I get a project idea or a creative idea in general, I will take out my notebook or even the notes app on my iPhone and I will write it down immediately, just so I can go back to it later and not forget it. There has been so many occasions in the past where I had ideas that I wanted to execute on, and then I literally don't write it down, and that idea is gone forever. So having a pen and paper on me is just something that I've gotten used to. It's a habit I've been able to develop over the last few years. I use it for journaling too. If I ever need to put my thoughts on paper, I will use this notebook and pen, something that is invaluable to me and that I carry with me every single day and is a very, really inherent part of my creative process.
Quick pause from today's video because I just want to take a quick second to say thank you to all of you who are watching and engaged with my content over the last few years. Whether you've been subscribed, dropping comments, liking, or even just watching these videos, you have no idea how much I appreciate that and how much it's helped me progress and grow this channel to where it is today. And I really just want to say thank you for a quick second, because I would not be here where I am today making YouTube videos on the side of what I'm doing if it wasn't for your incredible support over the last little while. You guys know very well that I'm here because I want to help you guys grow and break into this industry in the same way I did. And I know that is a pretty big task and something that can be really intimidating, from figuring out how to shoot sports, nailing the right look, or even breaking into the right rooms and learning how to network with the right people to get opportunities. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but I'm here to try and provide value and help you guys along the way. And there's one other way that you guys can support me and that I can help you guys that I want to talk about really quickly. If you've ever gotten value from the content I'm posting here on YouTube and you want to support me a little bit more directly and also get more bang for your buck on how much you can invest in this industry, I actually have a full digital storefront website with a ton of assets and resources to help people just like you guys who are actively working or trying to break into the sports creative industry. On my digital storefront, there are a ton of products that I've been curating over the last few years in order to help you guys create content better and faster than ever before, like the LUTs I use to color grade my videos, the Lightroom presets I use to edit all of my photos, and even strategy guides and email templates for how to reach out to sports teams and get opportunities faster. No pressure whatsoever, but if that sounds helpful or interesting to any of you, just know the link will be down in the description below for you guys to check out my digital storefront and all those assets I previously mentioned. And even if you don't end up buying anything, your support by just watching today's video means the world to me. Anyways, that's it for me. Let's get back to today's video.
Number 5, running shoes. Running has become a really big passion of mine over the last year. I haven't talked about it on YouTube really at all here, but over on social media, you may have noticed that I started running last year and has become such an integral part of my life, almost as integral as content creation and sports, because for me, running has become an outlet for me to escape the mundane cycle that we go through as content creators, being on your computer, editing, planning content, shooting content, also the day-to-day of my full-time job. So running has been a physical outlet for me that I have fallen in love with. And I even just ran my first full marathon a few weeks ago in Vancouver, which was one of the coolest yet hardest things I've ever done in my life. I run 5 times a week most of the time, and it really is just part of my routine now in the mornings or in the evenings, whether I'm at home, whether I'm on the road. I always try to take at least 30 to 40 minutes to go on a run, whether I'm going for a quick 5K or even longer. These are the Brooks Hyperion Max. These are what I've been running in lately. I have a lot of other running shoes, but these were just the ones that I had handy to show you guys. But yeah, running shoes are very big essential in my life because running has just allowed me to stay way more aligned with who I am and how I feel, and it goes hand in hand with like the Whoop in terms of staying physically and mentally fit. It doesn't have to be running. If you don't like running, go to the gym, go for a swim. There are other ways to activate your body, but I really do believe in moving your body and that having a direct correlation on how you're creating content and the level you're able to create content at. Number 6 are these Sonos Ace Bluetooth headphones. These are my daily over-ear headphones. I use these just to listen to music. I use these for video editing, for taking calls. I was in the market for a pair of over-ear headphones last year, and Sonos caught my eye with these, and I have not looked back since getting them. There's not much to say. I think as a video creative of any kind, you need a good pair of headphones. These are Bluetooth, but they also do have a wired connection that I use whenever I edit. I do have a pair of Audio Technicas that I use for editing as well, but I wanted something that I could use on the go. And also the noise cancellation on these are great. And as someone who is on the road a lot for work, that comes in handy when you are flying around a ton. So yeah, the Sonos Ace wireless headphones are another daily essential for me. Number 7, my Fuji X100V. If you know, you know, this camera was very popular on TikTok a few years ago. Fuji definitely made a very unique camera with this one. It's a point and shoot camera. Essentially, it has one lens and it edits all the photos in camera, which is one of the biggest reasons I like this camera. I use this just on my day-to-day life, just to capture memories and moments with my friends and my family. If I see a nice sunset or if I'm out and about and I just see something I want to take a photo of, I will usually have this around my neck. And it really is just, I like to call it the world's most overpriced dad camera, because I feel like I'm going to be a dad one day still using this camera to capture memories. I've used this for work as well. I've taken this to 2 Stanley Cup finals, and this actually was part of the most memorable shoot I was a part of with the NHL. I was in the locker room with the Vegas Golden Knights taking photos during the trophy celebrations in black and white, and I did it all with this camera, and they turned out really well. And some of my favorite photos that I've ever taken in my hockey career have come from this camera. The simplicity is really what I love about it. I don't need to worry about the lens. I don't need to worry about any other attachments. I just look to the viewfinder or look to the screen and take my photos. We'll probably have this for as long as it's functioning and potentially hand it down to my future kids one day, who knows? But yeah, I absolutely love this camera. Don't know where I would be without it. Number 7, my SSDs. These hard drives I quite literally can't live without as a creative. These are the lifeblood of where my footage is stored and where my projects are currently living on. As soon as I'm done a shoot, I'm dumping the footage into one of these and it stays there until it's done. And then I back it up onto another hard drive. PSA, if you are working with video content and you are using any kind of hard drive, whether it's an SSD or an HDD, make sure you are backing up your footage. That is a habit that everyone should get into, because you don't know when one of these will just die on you. You don't know when you're gonna lose one. Something could go wrong. So make sure you're backing them up. I've used a few different types of SSDs, but the Samsung T7 series has been tried and true for me and has not let me down. But yeah, SSDs, a big major component and something that I use every single day in my creative business. Number 9, an ND filter. And I would say that these are a must-have as a filmmaker or content creator. If you shoot video, period, this is probably just as important as the camera you shoot on or the lens that you're using, because it allows you to control the exposure in your camera without changing any of your settings like your ISO, aperture, or shutter speed. I really do think that an ND filter can be the biggest difference maker between having professional looking footage and more amateur looking footage, because if you don't have an ND filter in order to properly expose for video, you are most likely having to crank up your aperture or your shutter speed in order to make it properly exposed. Learning exposure is really important, but having a good ND filter will really make a difference. Big tip, don't cheap out on ND filters. I know you can get some for like 30 or 50 bucks on Amazon, but those have a lot of vignetting and different issues that high-end quality ND filters don't have. This is a Freewell 7-in-1 ND filter. It's actually magnetic, so it comes with 2 different filters that you don't have to screw off. It's just as easy as putting it on and taking it off. I will leave the link in the description. This is easily my favorite ND filter. This is not sponsored, just a tool that I've had in my bag and I've used forever and has been incredibly dependable. This is on my camera 99% of the time. Number 10 is my Nanic 935 carrying case for all my camera gear. This is also an incredible investment I made a few years ago because I was traveling a lot for work and I didn't have something to put my gear in. And then so I got the 935 Nanit case. This thing is a tank. I have taken it pretty much everywhere I've been over the last 3 years. And it has been an incredible investment because not only is it a way to carry my gear, but it's a way to keep my gear safe. Whether I'm on the road, taking a flight, or even just here at home, my camera gear lives in this case. I will try and show you what the inside looks like, but if not, there will be corresponding B-roll to show you because this is an awkward situation standing up. You can kind of see there a bunch of different compartments where I will store my gear. There's a few pieces here and there because I'm at home, so not everything's in here. You also have this top compartment where I store cables, batteries, all sorts of miscellaneous stuff. I really do think that as important as it is to invest in good camera gear, it's also important to invest in things that will help you keep your camera gear safe, invest in places where you can store your camera gear safely. And this case has been just that. I really do recommend Nanit specifically. I also have a bunch of stickers on it from all the different places and events I've been to, whether I'm traveling, been to an NHL event or anything like that, just different memories. And it's kind of like a little time capsule on the case itself. Also, this is actually the perfect size for carry-on luggage. This is just as big as my carry-on. And anytime I'm traveling by plane, I make sure that this is my carry-on. Please, 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 please make sure you do not check in your camera gear when you are flying. I have seen too many nightmare stories on TikTok and YouTube. Essentially, anytime I'm traveling with camera gear, it is always by my side. I do not trust it anywhere else. And this case is the perfect size for travel in terms of being a carry-on. So another really big reason why this is my 10th essential item. And that does it for my 10 essential items as a sports filmmaker and content creator. From my cameras to my laptop to my notebook to my Whoop, everything I talked about in this video is genuinely an item I use every single day. And if you guys want to check out any of them, I will leave the links for them down below. If you guys want to add any to your repertoire and lifestyle right now, or maybe it's something you want to invest in down the road, these are just things that have really added to my life as a creative and to my life as a human being in general that I genuinely use and interact with on a daily basis. If you guys got to the point in this video, thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like down below. If you guys have any questions about the items that I talked about in this video, leave me a comment and I'm happy to address and answer it. And if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. Like I said, we just hit 10,000 and I want to keep the channel growth going. So please consider subscribing if you haven't. And once again, thank you guys so much for 10K subscribers. I cannot express how thankful I am for each and every one of you and for where I have gone in this YouTube journey. And I can't wait to keep going alongside you guys. But that does it for me in this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.